and welcome to lesson 2, all about getting certified. In this lesson, we are going to cover what it is to get active in the Notion community, what it is to get creative, template-wise, business-wise, Notion-wise, and then we are going to get a portfolio together, and lastly, we are going to get certified, which is the big thing that I know everyone is talking about. But first, I want you to know exactly why we're placing this lesson here. Well, it's all about building that foundation, and when we get certified, we need to have a lot of things together for that certification. So let's tackle that right away. We've got our brand together. Now we need to go ahead and lay the foundational work to get certified. And there's going to be a lot of work. But this whole thing, this whole mantra I want to have for this lesson is all about delayed gratification. And for those of you who are a bit of a fan of getting that instant gratification, it's not going to work here. We definitely have to put in some work, and we definitely have to wait because this process is long. And I'll get into detail about that a little bit sooner, a little bit in a second. But before we get there, I want to talk about the difference between these Notion certified consultants versus Notion certified versus Notion consultant. Okay? So as you know, you are a Notion consultant. We've covered that in lesson 1, and anybody really can become a Notion consultant. So nothing hard there. You're branding yourself as a Notion consultant. You are going out there and getting the work done. Next, we've got Notion certified. Now this actually has been released around the same time as this course. And so far, it seems quite straightforward. And I had a little bit of talk with the guys at Notion to see exactly what this is. And all it is a test. A test that you need to get a certain percentage. I think it's 70%, but you'll be able to double check on their website. You'll need to pass with a 70% rate of accomplishments. And with that, you become Notion certified. It just means that you are a Notion guru, which I think you probably already are. And I would highly suggest everyone doing this, because if you are taking this course, you definitely know your Notion stuff. So get certified, do that as soon as possible, that it can get out of the way, and we can add that little nice badge to your LinkedIn, Facebook, whatever you want. Lastly, there is the Notion Certified Consultant Program, and that is the big boy. That is what we are spending this entire lesson talking about, how we can get you to become a Notion Certified Consultant and what that means. And I mean, this is a series of tests and portfolios and just having a real life skill challenge as well. I'll call it a real life, it's a practicum. All of that in there is part of becoming Notion Certified Consultant. And yeah, we'll break that down, so no stress. There is one other item that you can apply for as well, and it is the Notion Ambassador Program. And I would definitely suggest doing this as soon as possible as well. The Notion Ambassador Program is a beautiful little program for Notion nerds like you and me. Basically, yeah, you just sign up and tell them what you're doing to promote Notion. Maybe you have a community, maybe you have a blog, maybe you're creating free templates, and all this is about the free aspect. So if you're out there doing completely paid templates and looking for the hustle, it's probably not going to work, and that's kind of why I put a lot of emphasis in free templates in this beginning part, just as you're starting. But yeah, apply for the Notion Ambassador Program. The links will be in the workspace, so don't worry, you don't have to go searching. And that's something you can get started with right away. But in this lesson, we are going to lay that foundational groundwork for becoming Notion certified. Now, what are the pros, what are the cons of becoming a Notion certified consultant? That is what I want to tell you now, because there are a few inside scoops. Number 1, if you are going to become a Notion certified consultant, you get free marketing, and everybody loves free marketing. And it is probably the number 1 best thing about becoming a Notion certified consultant, because you have your name on the page that says you are one of, at this point, only 36 people in the world that are Notion certified, and people know that you know your stuff, and they will come to you based on just being listed there. You also get an email sent out to you by Notion that says, hey, we have a client that I think aligns with you. Would you like to work with them? Here's their details. And then I can go and send them that message. Hey, contact me. We're in line with the same type of projects, and it'd be a good match. Now, originally, I used to think that they were only sending that out based on maybe your location or your niche. But I've been getting a lot of kind of blanket emails from Notion. It's like, hey, consultants, this might be a good match. So I guess there's a bit of wiggle room there in terms of if they're really doing that based on your experience or your location. But either way, you're getting free leads sent to you, so you can't really go wrong there. A bit of a backstory, I actually originally was in New Zealand, and there were 0 leads coming in. And I think it could also be because there was not a big Notion burst like there is now, But as soon as I moved to the US, well, I thought I was going to move to the US, so I let them know I'm moving to the US, please list me there. I got loads of clients, and I still don't know if it's based on location, but I think it does have something to do with that, because I find that a lot of my clients now are usually from the United States, and I'm happy and open to clients worldwide, but making sure that your location is obviously one that you'll mostly be in is good, as well as one that might have a lot of clients can be a little extra way to get some more coming through, to keep that in mind. You didn't hear that from me. So that marketing is great. Another cool thing, another great thing about Notion is becoming a Notion certified consultant is that you are able to get the Notion gossip. So you're in there for hearing about new features, hearing about new releases, and it's really fun to be a part of that community there. And of course, there's another plus side of becoming Notion certified, which is you get the beautiful badge of honor, which is saying that, I am a Notion certified consultant, I know my stuff, and you can come to me. So that is one of the complete upsides of this. Now, I think there's one last upside is the enterprise plan. And having access to the enterprise plan is amazing because it is actually quite an expensive option. And I'm using it for this course. So thank you, Notion, for giving me that and helping me create this course on the enterprise plan. You get to play around with all types of goodies in there. And that's the 4 main awesome things that you get from becoming Notion certified consultant and Notion certified consultant. It's a bit confusing these days, but when I'm talking about Notion certified throughout this entire next lesson, it's all about the certified consultant. You won't hear any more about the Notion certified program because it is pretty straightforward. There are a few other upsides though of becoming a certified consultant, and that is you have access to some business resources, some marketing resources, template and training guides, things like that. But actually, I'm sharing so much of that with you now that you won't really notice when you get that. Our course is covering all of that for you and giving you that extra bit of support that you need to become a certified consultant. Now let's talk about the downsides. Not that there really are any downsides, but it is a long process. And that is why, again, we are starting this process in the second lesson, because you are going to need a strong portfolio and everything together for your application, and then you're going to have to wait quite some time for that approval. So that is a downside. Another downside, unfortunately, is the test. I am someone who is not really test savvy, I guess. I don't like tests. I've actually done really well on most all tests ever, but I still stress out and feel like I'm just not understanding or knowing it. And I had that kind of feel with this test, that the questions, I'm like, how can you make these questions hard? But they were, So I think it's really important to make sure you study up and you know everything about Notion, the ins and outs, and are really comfortable with testing in general. And I think for me, I've got a bit of a perfectionism problem where I want to be perfect and I want it to be great, and I stress out if it's not. And so it made that testing process more daunting for me. But if you can learn from my mistakes, which is all about this course, or what this course is all about, is just relax, you know your stuff, don't stress, and you'll do well. And lastly, this whole Notion certified consultant versus Notion consultant, what is the difference? It is simply a little badge that says you know your stuff according to Notion. But as I taught you in lesson 1, you already know your stuff. You already are a Notion consultant. These are things that you need to have in your mind already anyways. So when it comes down to it, if you become certified or not, I wouldn't really stress. You're gonna still have to do marketing. You're still gonna have to build your brand. You're still gonna have to be active in the community. All of these things are gonna have to exist regardless of your certification. And let's think about it. Let's think of some big Notion gurus that you know. Red Gregory, for example. She's not a certified consultant, but she's a boss, making all types of great YouTube videos that people automatically align with her. Hey Islo on Twitter has made thousands of dollars off of templates, and Danny Hatcher's got so many YouTube videos. All these people creating content actually aren't Notion certified consultants. Speaking of which, the people that are Notion certified consultants like Marie Pullen or August Bradley or William Nutt, I think of them much more as content creators rather than dealing with clients. And when I think of what availability and capabilities they might be having for new clients, I'd imagine it's quite slim because they are creating content frequently and bringing that to the public. And that allows us that little bit of a gap to go in and swoop up those guys' clients, because if they're not able to take the clients, who is? You and me. I'll share, don't worry. Whatever you decide, I think it's really important that as soon as possible you apply for the Notion certified program. Just take that test. You can retake it as well. As soon as possible, apply for that Notion Ambassadors program. That's awesome. And pay attention during this course. If you want to become certified, cool, this is great for you. If you don't want to become certified, you still need all of the knowledge from this lesson, because it is all about laying that foundation and groundwork for you to become a successful Notion consultant. So stay tuned and let's get started with our first section.